Maybe you can mute. You can mute yourself so that we can have less interference in the meeting. Once again, I want to welcome each and every one of us to this wonderful session of presentation. And I hope that we'll have a wonderful time tonight. I want us to begin with a word of prayer. I'd like someone to just open the session, open the presentation with us with a word of prayer. Any of us can volunteer to just take the prayer as we commence. Okay. All right. Let's just pray. Father, thank you for tonight. Thank you for this wonderful session together. Thank you for the opportunity to learn. We pray that this session will add value to our life and to our practice. We ask, oh God, that through your divine wisdom, you will guide us through this session and we'll have a smooth network for every one of us participating in Jesus' name. Amen. I want to welcome every one of us once again. I can see that our speaker is already connected. I also see the chairperson for the National Nutrition Association of Nigeria, Pharmacists MoMA. You're welcome. I also see notable senior colleagues, our professors in the house, national experts in the house of CPAN. I want to say you are all highly recognized and you are welcome to this meeting. Tonight we're going to have a swell time because, like our coordinator said, she has gone around and she has been able to find indeed a big fish tonight. Sorry, may I ask, am I audible?
And it came to pass when I heard these words that
Am I audible, please?
Your voice is low. You need to increase the volume of your voice. It's low.
Okay.
You're audible, but your voice is low. The volume of your voice. How do you increase it?
Okay. Please, there are some of us have a
Audible, but you
background
could do well
noises.
to also mute for everyone. Mute everybody.
The moderator, you can unmute yourself now. You can unmute yourself. Other person have been muted. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Tonight we have a great time together, and we have with us today a notable pharmacist, a pharmacist of no mean repute. He is a regulatory affairs officer at the Nigerian German Chemicals PLC. He's a regulatory and marketing manager, Uri Pharma Specialties Limited. He's a regional business manager, Synergy Healthcare Limited. National Sales Manager, Synergy Healthcare Limited. Is a Deputy Managing Director, Nelfarm Nigeria Limited. Is a Group Head, Specialties, Rodot Nigeria Limited. General Manager, Julie PLC. Managing Director, Royal Diamond Pharmacy and Stores Limited. Managing Director, Biospecs Network Limited. Managing Director, Nexus Emerald Global Limited. You will agree with me that with this portfolio, we have indeed a notable pharmacist to handle the topic that we have set before us today. for the Nutrition Society Pharmacy of Support Pharmacists Association of Nigeria. Today we are going to be looking at a topic that has to do with seed nutrition. This looks more like an area that pharmacists are trying to explore. We are looking at the topic, the role of seed nutrition in management of chronic health disorders in pharmacy practice, my experience. I want to introduce to us Pharmacist Charles Akinshete. He's very much present and he will be taking us through this session. You are welcome, sir. Please, you can have the floor.
Thank you very much, moderator. It's nice meeting you again. I think we met somewhere, I cannot remember, one of the conferences. Yeah, as a family. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Sipan. Permit me, because of time, to just
Sir, it appears we've lost your audio.
to be saddled with this responsibility. And I'm excited that I will be sharing my experience with us. Like you said, the role of seed nutrition in management of chronic health disorders in pharmacy practice, my experience. So basically what I'll be sharing with us, apart from the deep scientific details about what seed nutrition does or will be doing in health or clinical practice, I have some very practicable, close to 5 years experience in my practice with this. So I will, for those of us who don't young man, like you can all see, I will just want to establish the content and the direction that this presentation will take. We'll be looking at what are seeds, the historical nutritional values of seeds. I mean, seed as a source of nutritional benefit, the power of seed nutrition. We'll be looking at the effects of black cumin seeds, which is my trust. Some health benefits of seeds. Then my experience in community pharmacy practice with seed nutrition. We'll be looking at one or two pictorials, and of course some testimonials in the areas which I have been able to get some good results. We'll create room for questions, comments, and contributions, of course, references that back up the presentation tonight. Let's go back a little into botany or biology, as the case may be. What are seeds? We are very familiar with what seeds are, and we either eat them or we have planted them at a time. But they are basically small embryonic plants which are enclosed in a coat, and of course the product of the ripened oval of flowering plants after pollination and the completion of the process of reproduction. So basically, we can say seeds are the sources of life. And within each seed is loaded a very rich chemical profile of phytonutrients, vitamins, minerals, etc. In the course of research in the last 5 years, I was also amazed at what the seed, as tiny as it is, or they are, what they carry. Now, because seeds are the source of life, its chemical profile contains more nutrients per part when you compare seeds and what they grow into, fruits, trees, and co. When you compare them, the barks and the leaves and the fruits, when you compare them content for content per gram, seeds are richer in phytonutrients, making them the most potent home of nutrition. So for emphasis case, this is just what a seed looks like, if you remember your biology very well, of course, the helium, the micropyle, and the colostidon. And of course, this is what you can see, the plumule, which of course grows into the plant. Now let's go back into history a little. Why seed nutrition? You can in the Bible, I'm a Christian, you could see, I mean, Jesus talked so much about seeds. You know, you plant the seed, he says spread it. If you spread it on a fertile ground, you get good plants. If you spread it on a stony ground, you kill it. So you have seeds in your hand. Whatever you make of it is dependent on what your goal is. So a seed as tiny as the seed, for instance, the seed that say if you have faith as tiny as mustard seed, you can move mountains. You can see the oak tree there on the right side, what that tiny seed can become. Of course, up there you can see the fruits, which are also edible in most cases. This is amazing. What that tiny seed that I showed you up in the upper the other slide can become. And of course, seeds are the precursors for a forest, as the case may be. So you can see the stages of apple tree growth, for instance. You can see the seeds there from the fruits. When you plant them, you can see the stages. From here, it becomes a very big tree that has the fruits, and of course, all this coming from seeds. And it's also the same thing with human. The reproductive system recognizes the eggs and the sperm coming together to become who we are today. So you can see berries. You can from nursery, your seed, you take it to the farm. All of this shows you that seeds are not just something you can play around with easily. There are things, if you plant in day one, you have something like that on the left. Day 14, it's just sprouting. By day 365, you can see the berries. Seeds. This is the power of seeds. So let's look at some historical roles that seeds have been able to play. Values. So seeds have been a very vital food source throughout human history. In the Garden of Eden also, that was, I mean, God said they should be eating this, eating that, eating this. So the fruits we're eating also contains seeds. So it's been a source of vital food through human history, providing essential nutrients for survival and well-being. I mean, this is documented. Now, in ancient civilizations, we have the Egyptians around 1500 BCE. They use seeds like flaxseed, hemp, sesame seeds as very good source of protein, oil, fiber, even some cases fragrances. The Greeks also and the Romans around 500 CBE consumed seeds like sesame, poppy, sunflower just for their nutritional value, and they were having nice time. So you may say, oh, those places are too far. Native America also relies so much on seeds like sunflower seed, pumpkin, shea as their source of protein and healthy fats. Please take note of this. We are talking about healthy fats and fiber, healthy fats. So seeds are the major source of healthy fats. And you know what unhealthy fats will do to us and is doing to us at the moment. So in African culture too, we have Africans using seeds like sesame seeds, millet in the north and northern Nigeria, sorghum in northern Nigeria, very, very, very rich, pumpkin and co as staples in our diet. Also the Asians. So it's not only one culture, it is global. The Asians also consume seeds like sesame seeds, lotus, pumpkin for their nutritional and medicinal properties. We are beginning to get value out of it. Beyond nutritional value, is also the medicinal value. Now, looking at the nutritional values, what can we get from seeds? Proteins, healthy fats, fiber. For the healthy fats, I'm so particular about omega-3, the fatty acids, omega-3 fatty acids, and the particular seeds that are so rich in them, the flax, the chia, the hemp, sesame, and co. You will see them coming up, routinely. Protein, beans, our beans, the legumes, of course, the sort of beans, the hemps, the chia, and of course, black cumin seed also has a very good it's a very good source of protein, minerals and vitamins. Minerals and vitamins, vitamin E, B, E, calcium, magnesium, zinc. You get them from a lot of them from seeds. One major component you also get from seeds are the antioxidants. Many seeds like BCS, the black cumin seed, chia, sesame, sunflower, contains very high nutrient level value of antioxidants. And what are their roles? Of course, they play very powerful protection against oxidative stress. So let's look at some seeds that have been documented in clinical practice. I just want to mention these few. And the ones I highlighted, their botanical names. I'll be expanding a little bit on them. Black cumin seeds, gotten from the Nigella sativa. Flax seeds, Linum lucidum, and of course, chia seeds, Salvia hispanica. Sesame seed is there, sunflower, pumpkin, without any form of bias against any one of them. I just picked those three. All of these are very good sources of magnesium, zinc, fatty acids, and many antioxidants, as we shall see later on. So let's look at a few of them as we move on. So let's look at black cumin seed. Like I said, it's obtained from Nigella sativa. It possesses very remarkable antioxidant properties, documented over 3,000 research work on black cumin seed. It's very rich in antioxidants like thymoquinone, which gives it its major property, nigellone, nigellidine, and cavacrol. Black cumin seed possesses strong anti-inflammatory properties, anti-cancer properties, neuroprotective properties against degenerative disorders. Honestly, amazing, because of its very high content of the B series, vitamin B series. Strong cardiovascular health benefits. It possesses strong anti-aging benefits. How does it do? Of course, by reducing oxidative stress and promoting overall well-being. So we also can see chia seeds obtained from Salvia hispanica, also very rich in antioxidants, very rich in chlorogenic acid, caffeic acid, quercetin, and these ones have been found to be anti-tumor, anti-cancer, and garlic acid. Chia seeds, if you look what I said about black cumin seed, chia seeds also have the similar properties in protecting inflammation, against oxidative stress, reduces risk of cancer, supports heart health, has anti-aging benefits, enhances cognitive function. That one I have a lot of testimonials in the aged. Supports bone health, supports immune system, improves glucose metabolism. And the last one for this purpose, flax seeds, obtained from Linum lucidum, also known as linseed. Very rich source of lignans, the phytoestrogens, with very strong antioxidant and anti-inflammatory effects. Rich in polyphenols, flavonoids, phenolic acid, lignans, omega-3 fatty acids, fiber, which is also a very potent antioxidant. Interestingly, also contains selenium, vitamin E. These are not exhaustive at all. And what benefits can we get or derive from flax seeds? Supports healthy aging, reduces risk of cancer, supports heart health, cardiovascular health, enhances cognitive function, supports bone health, because it contains very high level of arginine also, and histidine. and of course supports reproductive health, supports immune system, supports glucose metabolism, and also been found to reduce inflammation. Now, let's look at some of these phytonutrients that we can get from seeds, classified in summary: proteins, lipids, omega fatty acids, carbohydrates, fibers, essential elements, your potassium and calcium and the rest, minerals, vitamins, the B series, the C, D, and E, bioactive phytochemicals like phytosterols, etc. This is a whole gamut of what our nutrition is all about. I mean, this is, if your body can get all of this, what else you are looking for? You may say the only challenge you may have is the filling part of it. Am I filled up if I consume them? But of course, you can balance that with some other sources of nutrition. So let's look at some of the nutrients in the market. You have them like this. You can order for them like this. They are available: pumpkin, chia seed, flax, spirulina. This spirulina, on the right, I saw this at the ACPN conference in Ibadan, and I was shocked. I was like, wow, it's already here. So they're already packaging these seeds and selling out. Now, what are the roles? What is the role of inflammation? Why am I narrowing down to inflammation? Inflammation is found to play a very significant role in chronic illnesses. So if we can deal with inflammation as a major contributory factor, we will be having peace in health. So inflammation contributes to the development, progression, and severity of chronic diseases. Established, documented. Why? Because chronic inflammation is usually characterized by, one, persistent activation of the immune cells. Don't be trouble them a lot. Continuous release of pro-inflammatory molecules, and of course, tissue damage and repair imbalance. And these are just at the roots of chronic ailments. Now, chronic inflammation is linked to various chronic illnesses, not limited to arthritis, cardiovascular diseases, type 2 diabetes, cancer, neurodegenerative disorders or diseases, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and co. Respiratory diseases, asthma, COPD, gastrointestinal disorders, IBD, inflammatory bowel disease, and irritable bowel disease, and of course, many metabolic syndrome. This may not be clear. So you can see this is Harvard. This is Harvard Medical College showing us what this slideshow is showing us what the diseases that I just mentioned that are linked to chronic inflammation. I will just read the part that said, when you have chronic inflammation, your body is in a constant state of high alert. The release of inflammatory chemicals can affect many different systems in your body and can be a cause or consequence of multiple diseases. You can see the eyes, the heart, brain, everywhere. All parts of the body are affected with chronic inflammation. So if we can address chronic inflammation, you of course will be addressing a very high significant level of it. So you can see the causes of death as in the early 1900s. I mean, you can see diphtheria, salinity, cancer. Those ones were not really, I mean, accidents, neuropathies, and co. Coming down to the 20s, you can see a change. You can see heart disease, you can see cancer taking a high chunk of that. Of course, things are changing. The style of living, I mean, the food we eat and everything is playing a very significant role, and which we call modernization. So how does chronic inflammation contribute to the problem we're talking about? This is how. Very simple. Chronic inflammation contributes to cellular damage and tissue destruction, oxidative stress and antioxidant imbalance, immune system dysregulation, hormonal imbalance, gut microbiome disruption. Yeah. There's a study that has shown that the health of your gut is linked to your overall well-being. Established. Epigenetic changes, mitochondrial dysfunction in terms of energy level and the rest. So this is what chronic inflammation can contribute. So what are the factors that promote chronic inflammation? Poor diet. We consume more processed foods, sugar, unhealthy fats. Remember, I was talking about healthy fats in seeds earlier. Sedentary lifestyle. Some of us have about 10 remote controls, sitting in one place and using remote controls to control everything. Stress, environmental toxins. I can imagine, I can tell you, I mean, for free, that I was saddled, I was sandwiched between, should I go home and should I run this program in the office? There is light in the office, and now that there's also light at home. Before I could say, let me go home, they took the lights in the house. There's no petrol. We went to look for petrol. We couldn't get petrol. I had to stay back in the office today. But thank God there is light as we speak. So you can imagine that kind of stress. Infections, chronic and latent. Genetic predisposition, especially in blacks. Sleep disturbances, obesity. These are factors that promote chronic inflammation. So how do we do to manage them? If we can manage our diet very well, dietary changes, let's consume foods that are very rich in anti-inflammatory content, phytonutrients, omega-3 fatty acids. Of course, this is going to be our focus for tonight. Exercise and physical activity. Colleagues, I want to share with us. Most of us in the last 3-4 weeks, you've not done a walk. You take your car from home to the office, go and pick your children back home. That's your routine. On Sunday, church again. On Friday, mosque. Let's engage in physical. Can you leave your car at home one day and just do some physical exercise and move around? Adequate sleep. Manage your weight. If you are smoking, quit smoking as much as possible. Let's limit our environmental toxins exposure. There is monkeypox now in town. Let's go back to our nose masks usage and be careful. Use our sanitizers and co. Let's go back to proper hygiene, and let's consume foods that are rich in omega-3, like I said, and of course, be careful once in a while with managing pain or inflammation with anti-inflammatory drugs. We know the effects. So, the relevance of ORAC. Why am I talking about ORAC? ORAC is oxygen radical absorbance capacity. What is the relevance of ORAC in management of inflammation and chronic illnesses? What is ORAC? Why ORAC in this case? You cannot talk about inflammation and its management without talking about ORAC. ORAC simply is the value that measures the antioxidant capacity of a substance, a food or supplement. There is a university, there is a lab, lab week in Canada. I'm going to remember that lab now. That is responsible for, if you have your seeds and you want to know the ORAC value, you just take your seeds to that lab. I think there's another one in Italy where you can measure, in the US, where you can measure the ORAC level. So it simply indicates the ability to neutralize harmful free radicals, which of course contribute to oxidative stress, cell damage, and chronic diseases. So before you consume these seeds that we talk about, you should have an idea of what their ORAC values are. So it's measured, of course, is like I said, is the capacity to absorb and neutralize oxygen radicals, which have been implicated in chronic disorders. So it's expressed in micromoles of Trolox equivalent. So higher ORAC values indicate greater antioxidant capacity. That is it. So let's just look at some ORAC values for some common foods. The berries, about 9,000 to 30,000. That's a lot. Leafy greens, your vegetables, the spinach, the kale, the spirulina, and aloe vera, your bitter leaf and co. is between 1,000 to 4,000. Now let's look at seeds and nuts. 5,000 to 20,000. That's a lot. You can see the berries. So if you consume berries and you consume nuts and the leafy greens, you have enough to get your antioxidant properties from. So I'll be narrowing down my presentation to the power of seed nutrition, the effects of black cumin seeds. Now, the black cumin seed, I said, is called gotten from a plant known as Nigella sativa. It's in Nigeria. It grows around the Middle Belt region in Benue and Plateau, as is up to Taraba. So that's how it looks like. And Kalanji, some call it Kalanji. It's popular as Kalanji. This is how it looks like when it is still fresh. And this is the pod, and this is, of course, the seed on the right side there. So it is a seed that is also scripturally backed. Of course, talking about white seeds, you can see what the Bible talked about seed. It said, behold, I have given you every plant yielding seed that is on the surface of all the earth, and every tree which has fruit yielding seed. What did he say it should be? It shall be food for you. It shall be food for you. So, Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. In the Quran, the prophet, peace be upon him, said, talking about black widow seed, said is a remedy, in bracket, cure for every disease except death. Except death. It's documented in the Quran. It's an hadith. Our Muslim brothers and sisters, they can confirm this. So it's something that we are thankful to God for. Traditionally, it is referred to as the miraculous plant, and also known as the herb from heaven. And I've mentioned what the prophet talked about concerning it. Black woman seed has a very long history of therapeutic use, over 30 years and 3,000 years, for preventing and treating, prevention and treatment of many different diseases. It has the ability to support your body in its own natural healing. So it helps the body to get back its immune system. And of course, it's also known for its beauty power. The capacity to prevent and restore features is as a result of the thymoquinone content, which is most powerful antioxidant component in the black cumin seed. So I won't talk about free radicals. I mean, you know what free radicals do and how they cause troubles. I mentioned it earlier, and I've talked about the ORAC value. So if you are talking about seeds, their ORAC values are very high. Now the ORAC value for black cumin seed has been established at 12,384. That's a lot. And the components thymoquinone, nigelidine, cavacrol, and other phenolic compounds in black cumin seed give it its very powerful antioxidant property. Network. So, of course, I won't go into the antioxidant properties and co. I've been saying this so that I can save some time. I'll just skip this. So let me just quickly rush this. The thymoquinone component of black cumin seed was discovered around 1960. It also contains glutathione. Nigelon was also discovered by an Egyptian chemist, El Dakani, around 1962. It also contains fixed oils, proteins, alkaloids, saponins. Of course, saponins there will let you know that it's good for cosmetics. I mean, that's where the anti-aging property comes into. Essential oils, and many, many more. It has the essential oils, the fixed oils, the proteins, the alkaloids, saponins. The essential oils are energy boosters, relieve stress, calms nerves, helps with focus, and improves skin conditions. And of course, the saponins, very useful in facial cleansing and cosmetic creams. Let me move as fast as possible. I can. Now, research has also revealed many potential health benefits and the powers of thymoquinone. Number one, antioxidant properties, anti-inflammatory effects, anti-cancer properties, antimicrobial activity. In this case, both antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal properties, making it very effective against many infections. Neuroprotective effects. I mentioned the case of Alzheimer, in dementia, and co. Cardiovascular health, immune system support, gastrointestinal health, anti-diabetic effects, that one, full ground. Wound healing. How? Because the thymoquinone accelerates wound healing by increasing collagen synthesis, tissue strength, and oxidant defenses. So, this is a published document, May 29th. Said the possible anti-diabetic mechanism of black cumin seed might be mediated via modulation of oxidative status, that is the antioxidant property, and anti-inflammatory property, referencing this, a promising natural remedy for wide range of illnesses. Yema et al., 2019. If you Google it, you will see very deep research work done. So these are some of the phytonutrients in black cumin seeds: fatty acids, proteins, and what they do side by side, how they play, especially in the prevention and management of cardiovascular disorders, especially cardiovascular disorders. So this is how seeds they play a very key role in glucose control, oxidative inflammation, managing platelet aggregation, and of course, breaking it down to prevent CVD and diabetes. So you can go through these slides, and I have very few minutes. So seeds contain bioactive polyphenols, water-soluble pigments that are capable of quenching oxygen-derived free radicals, leading to radiation injury and oxidative stress reduction. So therefore, consumption of seed is beneficial not only for your heart, but for general well-being. Consumption of large quantity of nutritional seeds had a lower prevalence of chronic cardiovascular disorders. Whole grains significantly reduce total and LDL cholesterol. So the bad cholesterol, what are we saying? There is a caution. You must consume it in moderation as they are very high in calories. Also, make sure you drink, you're supposed to drink a lot of water when eating seeds to aid digestion. There are some also that have been compounded in edible forms that you can mix with your food. Are there any side effects? Yeah, once in a while. If it is consumed in high volume, side effects vary from person to person based on their idiosyncrasies. Are there any contraindications? Yes, in some cases. Your nutritionist can tell you, the teacher can tell you, oh, don't consume berry, don't consume this, or give 1 hour, 2 hours different interval between your medications and this. So you must also talk to your pharmacist, talk to your nutritionist where possible, and of course, maybe your doctor. Now, talking about my experience in community practice. I've been able to use seed. Seed nutrition played a very key role in the management of brain tumor in my wife's case in 2019. Yes. Was there any medical support? Yes. But seed nutrition came in as a palliative and helped the recovery to be very, very fast and rapid. This is the genesis of my involvement in seed nutrition as a component of my practice. I've been able to use it in arthritis, in dementia. Recovery rate very fast. Do you stop their medications? No. It's amazing how they can use it alongside their medications. In diabetic foot ulcer, a lot of cases. In hypertension, controlled. CVD stroke cases, about 4, 5. Epilepsy, about 3 that I know. But in many cases where they have to boost their immune system, infertility cases, yes, we've used seed nutrition as a component of managing fertility where we have twins with my mechanic. So I'm going to show us these pictorials. I decided not to take too much of it. This was an accident case where the hospital at the point the healing process was very slow. We took it over and we started managing. And at the time, you can see the tissues coming up. Then there was blood perfusion, and before we could say jack, the healing. You can see the healing after about 4 weeks. You can see how it narrowed down. This eventually healed up. Actually, it's a police officer, and today he's doing fine. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you. These are my references as much as possible, and I want to say let me quickly run up here so I can allow for questions, comments, and contributions. Thank you very much, everyone, for your time. I hope I am within time. I appreciate you. Over to the moderators.
Wow, thank you so very much. This is indeed a wonderful presentation. You will agree with me. And quite exhaustive. Yes, so many things to cover, but you have really been on time. Thank you so much for this wonderful session. While the presentation was on, a number of very senior elders in the profession joined in the presentation. I saw Professor Aaron, the former SG of the West Africa Postgraduate College of Pharmacists. Also, saw one of our lecturers, our teachers in the college, Dr. Ajay, Professor Shodipo, and so many others that I cannot really identify now. My preceptors during internship, I want to say you are all welcome. The floor is open now for us to ask our questions. You can indicate by raising your hand, or you can type in the comment section. We'll pick out the questions so that the presenter can handle every one of them. So the floor is open now. Please, if there's anyone that has any question or comments or contributions, you can please indicate with a raise of hand. Oh, okay. Yes, I can see Dr. J. You have the floor, sir.
It's okay. Good evening, colleagues. And thank you, presenter, for doing a good job of this presentation. I have known for a long time that seeds can be very beneficial. The limitations, of course, is availability and costs. In a resource-limited society, it might be very dangerous for somebody to begin to feed on seeds. But having known the health benefits today, I think we should encourage consumption of seeds. I just wanted to comment on your presentation. It will have been a lot more better, because people are usually skeptical about things like this. You have a practice-based, you are coming from the background of practice. So you should have included more case studies, case presentations. If all of this your experience came in as case presentations, it will have been a lot more beneficial. So next time, I will appreciate those cases you've done with seeds. What seeds did you use? You don't present them as cases with, you just put one graphics, put many graphics, and that can convince skeptics and encourage community pharmacists to really incorporate this into their practice. Thank you.
I don't know if the
Thank you very
presenter...
much, sir. Well noted. Thank you, sir.
Yes, somebody also asked a question in the comment section about
Well
the role
noted,
of
sir.
management. Yes. Professor Aaron, sir, you have the floor, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. Charles, well done. I lived through most of the presentation, and in terms of convincing one as to the value of seeds, I think that's not in doubt, having listened to your presentation.
Yeah.
I would, however, I'd love to see it a bit more scientific, bearing in mind that you are presenting this to a scientific audience of pharmacists, and it's like a rep coming to make a presentation on his product. You actually would want to see some scientific justification for whatever it is that's been presented. I think a little more depth in that direction would have been very useful. Number two, I'm not too sure now. Seed nutrition. We have so many seeds. I began to wonder, Which of this do I just go to the market now, buy granite and start eating granite, or buy walnut and start eating walnut, or whatever seed I find, I just start eating? It will also have been good. Those very common seeds that we have, in terms of their value, compared to the cumin that you actually have zeroed down on. If you put them on a scale, how would it look like? If I want to now talk about seed nutrition, and I'm talking to somebody that seeds are very useful, and these are seeds that the person may not be able to access. Yes, I take flax seeds and all that, but these are quite expensive. But we also have local seeds. Of what value are these seeds? I think such information will also be very useful for the average person. Thank you. Well done.
Thank you very much, sir. Well noted. Maybe I should just, do you have any further questions so that I can see Dr. Ladili? I'm taking notes.
Yes, Dr. Ladili, you have the floor, sir.
Okay, thank you, our presenter, for the very wonderful presentation. Most of what I want to ask has been asked, but I just have one simple input on the specification of the seed. I have a personal experience with the use of, I don't know, we can take our time to research or to read on the use of a black seed. Black seed is a very important seed that when you read about research that have been done on black seed, you will be amazed. And if you try the use of the black seed on most of the common diseases and ailments, I can assure you that you will also be surprised. I've used it and I've seen that it's a kind of wonderful seed on its own. Also mustard seed. But just as somebody has rightly said, the availability of all these seeds is one of the major challenges. But I believe that if we start at the beginning, I was thinking how and where can I get a black seed? But later I found out that it is available just for us to know what we are looking for and where to look for them. But there are so many seeds actually that are of medicinal value. Also, we have some of their oil, like this black seed oil. If you go into research and you see many work that have been done on it, you will be surprised at how have we not been using it in our daily practice. If we incorporate this into our practice, I believe that we will have more result than we have been having before. Thanks so much.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Very much, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay, do we have any? Okay, we have more hands. We have actually.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for allowing me. I'm privileged to be on this call tonight, and I'm so happy I am here. Thank you very much, Pharmacist Akishete, for that brief presentation. You made mention of black seed, chia seed, and some seeds. And I've listened to the comments of our professors and some people that had made their comments earlier. I know that I was just thinking that probably you were considering the time you didn't want to keep them, because I know that you know what you are talking about. So probably there will be another opportunity for you to do a comprehensive presentation on your experience with the seeds. But I have personally taken a seed nutrition called Rain Soul, which I came about sometimes. My name is Oluwatoyin Olatunde. I'm calling from the UK. I joined this meeting in the UK. I took this it's called Rain Soul. Somebody introduced to me. I am a nurse by profession. I used to work at the University College Hospital Ibadan before I left. I actually practiced for 35 years before I retired. I had kidney stone for 4.5 years, and it was so bad. The professor that managed me, incidentally, is my friend, and he told me sorry because the stones were so many, and there was one particular one that was so big. He told me the location is, I mean, so delicate that it couldn't take me for surgery. If it attempts it, I'm not going to come back alive. So all the professors could not help me. They said I should be managing pain, and I indeed managed pain for 4.5 years, January 2012 to July 2016. Sorry, I'm in the office. I will have shown my face. Please pardon me. So I was managing pain, and then I wasn't getting anywhere. My life was miserable. At a point, I was even telling God to take me away because it became so bad. At the end of 4.5 years, I was asked to go abroad. As a civil servant, where do I get the money? By that time, there had been so many complications. I had fibroid, which wasn't giving me problems before, but I just started bleeding uncontrollably. And I had 2 major surgeries right before me. And then a colleague of mine who was lecturing at the College of Nursing, LALA, who also read nutrition, she's a nutritionist, and then she was in a study that they did in my hospital and the University of Ibadan about this black seed, just walked up to me one day and she was talking about the numerous benefits. And I said, so I told her my condition. And she said, Auntie, you need to try this. I've given my daughter who had asthma and she was doing very well. And I said, okay, where do I get it? Unfortunately, the product were not even in Nigeria. That was July 2016. So she ordered the product from the US for me, and it was a miracle. Within 3 days of taking Rainso, I felt so relieved. There was no pain. And then I continued. I took for 1 month. By the time I went to take another scan, the fibroid and the kidney stones had all dissolved. And the doctor was asking me that day, Madam, what did you take? I can't see any stone. I can't see any fibroid. And I was amazed myself. I didn't know, a nurse talking to a doctor, I didn't know what to say. I said I was taking water. Then I called the lady up. I said, Boss, what did you give me? She said, Auntie, I don't know. And that is my own story. That was 2016. And I know this very well. And I've also, introduced this to some of my friends who have so many stories around it. So thank you, pharmacist, for saying this out. I mean, I know you have a personal experience with this, and that gave you the courage to want to present it to your colleagues. And I'm happy that I stumbled on the meeting ID of this meeting, and that's why I'm here, and I'm so happy. Thank you very much for allowing me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma. Thank you, ma. I thank you, ma. I didn't want to. I mean, Professor Aaron, incidentally, Prof, my regards, all profs in this meeting tonight. Prof was also my supervisor in school years back. Just like a colleague of us said, these things are available, sir. They are available in the market. I was shocked. I live in Ota, Ogun State. I was shocked that they sell black seed here in Ota. You can, we are all scientists. You can take a sizable portion. You can compound. You can compound it. You can compound black seed. You can compound it with shea butter. I'm looking at a secret now in your practice. Compound it with shea butter and apply it on arthritis. You can compound it and also apply it on wounds. I didn't want to, my sister from UK, I mean, I don't know, Mrs. Latude, I didn't want to go to mention a product, and I'm seeing people asking me direct questions. You can talk to me after this, but I can tell us in 5 years, my practice here in Ota, the cases I handle now are basically chronic cases. Up to today, chronic cases that some hospitals, teaching hospitals are saying this is gone. Asthma cases from Cotonou come to meet me here. I'm not promoting a brand, and I didn't mention any brand, I won't mention any brand. But what matters to us as pharmacists is the fact that once I was blind, now I can see. Says the blind man. Our patients, our clients want good health. They want good health. I would have lost my wife in 2019 straight away If not for this seed nutrition thing that we're talking about today, I would have lost her. And I know some of our colleagues who, I mean, I don't know if Dr. Bono, Margaret Bono is on this call tonight. She uses this thing in her practice. I treat wound here. I treat wound here. And you make money, big money, not small money. You make big money. So talking about availability, there is no product that can be available forever. Even our orthodox drugs, at times they are scarce. A particular company has left Nigeria now. Their products are scarce. So won't our patients survive? We move to other things. But what matters is at the moment, there are seeds in the market. Let's research. When I did research on black cumin seed, that's why I had to narrow down to it. I was amazed. Professor Olayiwola, Bola Olayiwola, a popular bassman, also was shocked at, I mean, when we sat down one day in his office and I was showing him the research work. I think he's also doing something on black cumin seed. There are other seeds we can take up. There is pumpkin. There is granite. We can take up this research. That's why today I'm excited at this direction. This direction that we are going is starting today. I was informed I had 30 minutes to speak, and I was like, what will I say in 30 minutes? So I had to compress, put some slides on hide so that I'll be able to have time. So we can come back in the future and look at the nitty-gritty. I have a lot of case studies, like you said, sir, which you can present as case studies today. We look at it, what did you do, what did you do? And the interesting part is that seed nutrition, as you are adding it to their treatment or palliative treatment, it does not stop their medications at all. But the beautiful thing about it is somebody is presenting with fasting blood sugar of 390, 380, and they've been struggling with insulin and co to manage it. And you added seed nutrition, and the person is coming down at a very fast rate to 170, to 150, to 90, and he's getting back his strength, because there are two results you will go to gain. One is the qualitative result, and the second one is the quantitative result. The quantitative result, I have my document, I have my file here. You came today, we check your BP, we check your sugar level, is this amount, and consistently over time, you are being normal for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. So, but how do we do that? You must have a time frame. I've noticed and observed that in my practice, 3 to 6 months gives me a perfect result. I repeat, 3 to 6 months. I tell you, are you ready for this journey? 3 to 6 months, and they say yes. And we go on. Go to your doctor, come back. But by the time they go to their doctors and they see the BP has stabilized, the heart, the cardiomegaly has come down to normal size, and everything is going looking fine. They're asking. Some doctors ask, "What are you taking?" I say, "Show them what you are taking. Show them. There's nothing bad in it. There's nothing bad." Some of them call me. Some of them will appreciate. Some of them will, of course, don't give my patient anything. I say, well, even you when the time comes. I mean, a lot of my colleagues, pharmacists, and doctor friends also get this products here and there for their families, and it's making a very solid encroachment into our practice. I was at the ACPN conference in Ibadan, and I was shocked to see spirulina on the market. I said, "Wow, this is spirulina." There are many products that contain aloe vera. Aloe vera is very good in wound healing. Very good in wound healing. So we need to scale up. And you know the beautiful thing, they may not know what you are using. If you want to show them, fine. If you don't want to show them, fine. This is extra source of income. So that we don't wait for those positions that will never come. We don't wait for I know the beautiful thing is that referrals will begin to come from everywhere. I live in Ota, but I have more patients coming in from outside Nigeria. Kutonu is like my I should go open a branch in Kutonu if they will allow me. So this is where we are today. So in the future, we'll look at case studies, we'll look at that. I have them a lot. The scientific basis for it. I mean, Prof said I should do a little more in depth. So many seeds. Let's begin to look at what those seeds are. Some scientists did research on it. Let's also begin to research. It's not one person. That's all of us. Can we see a nutritional support group? Can we begin to look at something in that direction? Can we begin to look at in something that direction? Flax is very, very amazingly rich. Chia seeds amazingly rich. When we talk about cost, even water in Nigeria is very costly now. Petrol is very costly. The air we breathe is very costly. The houses rent is very costly. So everything is costly everywhere. So, Prof, in terms of cost, if anybody must survive, must have the money. And we just want to believe that we should our job is to take as many out of the throes of death. God helping us. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Somebody raised his hand. I don't know if he can ask his question before we round up for tonight.
Okay, really, thank you very much. I want to appreciate the presenter, and it's a privilege to be in this forum. Actually, I think he has tackled what I want to say. I want to also speak about the black seeds. As rightly cited from the Quran perspective, it actually that citation was what most of our traditional medicinal Islam is used, because it used mostly as a adjunct, which is what I want to draw attention here. As it says, rightly, as Professor rightly said, as a scientist, we could now try and work it better, how it can serve as an adjunct to our normal therapy, and more work to be done to have a pattern of use, which will give us more organized way of using than how it's used. Very rarely you see any traditional medicine they will prepare, they will not add that black seed in it, which is also correlating with what the presenter is saying. My contribution here is that we can work on it to serve as a proper adjunct to all other orthodox therapy we have on ground. I want to associate myself to this beautiful presentation. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you
very much, sir.
Ms. Kamal. As we draw the curtain on tonight's presentation, I want to invite Pharmacist Moma to give us a closing remark. Pharmacist Moma.
Okay, good evening, everybody. I'm afraid my battery might just die off even as I'm speaking. I've been hoping that I'll be able to get to the end of the lecture. So I really appreciate everybody that's, able to come for tonight's presentation. I appreciate our able presenter. And like he said, I think it's a good idea. Maybe before the year is over, we might think of bringing him back to, give us some case studies and so that we get more clarifications on what he has to say. I really appreciate all the our dignitaries that were here. Professor Eru was here, Professor Lufunke, Dr. Oluwatimileyin, Pharmacist Oluwatayo Motoimbo, Dr. Ladele, Dr. Rita, Desk Officer Oncology Group. I could see Dr. Timmy Pre, then Brigadier Telibe, and Pharmacist Kamal. You are all welcome, and every other person that I was not able to get their names. I want to appreciate you all. I am really very happy with today's lecture, and my moderator, God bless you. You did a wonderful work at very short notice. So with that, I think we can call it a day while we look forward to our next lecture. Thank you very much, everybody. Dr. Timmy Pre, please, can you say a closing prayer for us? If you are still there.
Yes, I'm here. Thank you so much. Thank you. Although I joined late because, this 9 o'clock thing, CPAN is actually used to 9 p.m. So nutrition support, I want to plead with you to please drag your 8:30 to 9 p.m. sometimes so that most of our CPAN members are community pharmacists. So thank you so much. It was a wonderful presentation. You are our wonderful pharmacist, Charles Akinshete. Sir, I knew when I saw the advert that you're going to do justice to it. Thank you so much. So let's have our closing prayer in Jesus' name. Father, I want to thank you so much for making it possible for us to gather here tonight. We've learned a lot. So many new things are really unfolding. I really appreciate the fact that you made this possible for us this night. As we go back to bed, Father, we beg you to please protect us, guide us, and see us through. We ask you all this in Jesus' name. We pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah, so
Amen.
thank
Thank you,
you so
everyone.
much.
Happy
Good
night
night,
rest.
everyone.
Thank you.
bless
Thank
you
you
all.
for the opportunity. I appreciate you all.
You're
Please, can
welcome.
it be
God
made
bless.
available? The slides.
Yes, the slide is with our desk officer. She has it.
Okay, sir. Some of us joined late, so let's just go through and
Yeah, someone
thank
like
you,
me, I
sir.
didn't join on time.
All right. Thank you. You will have it.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good
Thank
night.
you.
Good night, everyone.